nose to nose, and boom, we both went through the ice because we were that close to each other. So now we're both in the water, and you know, now I'm like, oh shit, no one's gonna save, who's gonna save me now? So now we're both in the water, and I'm able to grab him by the back of his pants and just shove him as hard as I can and get him. He bellied up onto the water, onto the top of the ice, and he scooched over and threw me the jacket. But there was a few moments there where I wasn't sure if I was going to get him up onto the ice because he was such a big dude. But anyway, we got it, you know, and then he pulled me up, and then, you know, again, now I'm freezing my butt off, frozen to death because I was in the water, and I'm moving faster than him, and we crashed through the ice another time. But this time we were the water was only 4 feet deep. So anyway, we got back on shore, and my friends were just like, "You're a freaking idiot. What are you, stupid?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm just like frozen to the core. And so the lady spoke a little English, and my friends, between the four of us, we had enough English and German she said, our van, they had a VW van, our van's over there. So we rode our bikes over to the van, and in that time the wind chill just froze me to death. So we got to their van, and I just stripped all my clothes off because I was soaking wet. And I still had one of my friends had my hoodie, my hooded sweatshirt. So I just stripped down naked because it was so cold in those clothes. Just stripped down, put on the hooded sweatshirt. One of my friends had an extra pair of sweatpants. He was wearing 2 pair. And so he gave me his sweatpants, but my feet were completely soaked and freezing, and no one had my size shoe. I mean, everyone had to wear their own shoes. And so the lady and the guy were very, you know, thankful for me, and they're like, "Can we take you somewhere? Can we," you know, in German, "Can we take you somewhere? Where can we take you? Can we get you to the hospital?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I just need to get warmed up." And one of the guys had just got an apartment like 2 or 3 miles away. I don't know how many miles, but it wasn't that far away. And I said, no, I'll be fine. And so I just had my shoes, and cold, my feet were in my shoes, and I'm like, we're just gonna ride to the apartment. And so he's like, "I got my key, but I don't have any clothes there. I just got the key yesterday." So we rode our bikes to the apartment, and in that time my upper body was okay because I had dry clothes on. So I mean, I was okay that way. My hands were cold, but nothing horrible. And but my feet, by the time we got there, I couldn't feel my feet at all, like nothing. They were solid ice. And so by the time I got there, I went to get off my bike and put my foot down, and I just fell over because I couldn't. It hurt so, like, my feet didn't work. And so 2 of my friends had to drag me up the stairs to the 2nd floor, and because I couldn't use my feet. It was like they were just rocks. It was really weird, and they didn't even hurt. They were so, I was really scared because it's like, okay, if they don't hurt, then that means they're beyond frostbitten, or they're really bad. I might lose some toes or something. It was so bad. So they, you know, in Germany, they don't use central air in a lot of places. They have those wall heaters where you turn it on and there's oil or water, hot water that runs through a heating vent. So they turned the heat on it and propped my feet up, took my socks off and propped my feet up on it and put my socks on the heater. And it took several minutes for me to feel anything before my feet started to tingle, like from the heat of the wall-mounted heater thing. And I stayed there for a good hour until my feet really felt good again. I didn't lose any toes or anything, but it was sketchy there for a while because it took a long time to even feel my toes tingle, like there was any warmth coming to them. And then I rode back with wet shoes and socks on, but my feet were warm and the socks were warm and the shoes were warm. And so by the time I got back, everything was still warm, or it wasn't like frozen or anything. But my friends, I'm laying on the floor, and they're just like, "You're such an idiot. How could you, what did you think going out there in the ice?" And I'm just looking at them like they're insane. I'm like, "How can you let a man die when we could help him?" I'm like, I'm crazy, you're crazy. And so we never got around that point, that they just didn't see how I could go risk my life for some guy I didn't even know. So anyway, the coolest part of the story, this is so cool. A few months later, I was going to visit that same friend whose apartment I'd put my feet on the vents to warm them up, or on the heater thing to warm them up. And I pull in the parking lot and I'm coming out, and guess who's right there, who had moved into that apartment since the time that I'd saved him. That VW bus was there, and that guy and his wife and the dog, they were coming out of the car the same time I was. And the guy saw me, and he was just like, he was just so, and by that time I'd learned a lot more German, so I was able to actually talk to him. And he was just, thank you so much. And he gave me a big bear hug, and he's just like, you saved my life. I don't think I would have made it out. And the wife gave me a hug. It was just such a cool, like, experience to have met the people's lives that I'd touched, that I'd helped. It was so cool. And I never saw him again from that point, but it was like such an affirmation that I did the right thing, and I really, you know, it was pretty amazing to have met him and just see the gratitude. And it was a big deal. Like, it wasn't just, oh, he fell through the ice and I helped him out. Like, when he went under that last time and came back up, he probably knew that that was it for him. He didn't have the strength. And so, you know, he really felt like his life got saved. And that's pretty amazing. And that's one of the times I've saved a life. I did another one when I was a teenager. I saved someone from a burning forest, a little boy from a burning forest. That's a story for another time. But anyway, there's my story. I hope this one didn't go too long, but I wanted to share. Thanks for the reminding me of this, Julie. Bye.